In this video, we're going to talk about how to plot daily SMAs on an intraday chart. So basically, this functionality is very recent. It requires advanced scripting in DustRader. So make sure you have the latest version of DustRader to be able to implement this. And the way it works is basically we're going to add daily SMAs to our daily chart. And then there's going to be a script that basically grabs the latest values of those SMAs and plots them on an intraday chart as horizontal lines. So let's go ahead and add that daily SMAs to the daily chart. So let's right click, static config, and let's start adding these daily SMAs. So let's start with the 20. And let's also go to general and add that name here. Let's call it daily SMA 20 so we don't get confused about that. We also remove it from scale and display latest value here. So now we have our SMA and it's going to be kind of like this lighter color because it's on a dark chart. So we have the one added. So let's click OK, and so it's there. Now let's add the other ones, 1, 2, 3. So this will be the 50 SMA here. So we'll call it 50. Again, uncheck all these, display last value. Next one will be 100. So let's do 100 here. Let's go to general, uncheck these, add that. And the last one is 200. So this will be 200. We'll call it daily SMA 200, uncheck these, and display last value enabled. So now we have all of these daily SMAs here on the daily chart. The problem is when you switch the time frame of this chart, these are no longer the daily SMAs, right? This is going to be hourly 20 SMA, minute, 10 minutes, and so on. So we need to have a daily chart on the screen to be able to grab those daily SMAs. And lucky for us, we just made in the last video this ATR chart, which is the daily ATR chart. So this is a daily chart that's always present for us here. So let's actually, instead of adding them to this chart, let's actually add them to this chart here, because then we don't have to see them all the time. We don't have to have a daily chart like take up space like this. Instead, we're just going to grab them from this chart here that we have in our corner. So let's go here and let's add all of these SMAs. So for me, I've already added them, but let's try to add them again. So we have daily SMA. Let's keep it as 200. So this one is the last one we added here. So it kept the same name. So it's a simple moving average 200, and the name is daily SMA 200. So here, let's uncheck include in scale and display study info, and basically uncheck all of these because they're going to screw up our ATR chart if we don't if we keep this on, like include in scale. So let's uncheck all of that. So that's 200, and the color, so this one is a bright color, but let's actually make them the same as the background of this chart. So let's go to right click and configure, and let's figure out what the background color is on this chart. So chart background, for us it's completely black, so 000. So let's use the same for the color of the daily SMA, so it does not show up on this chart. It's just it's gonna merge with the background. So let's right click, static config, double click, and we're gonna make this line completely black, so 000, and click OK. So now the EMA is not gonna show up on the chart, and it's also not gonna show up on the vertical axis and not gonna be included in the scale. So let's click OK. So we have it now. Make sure the name is specified, daily SMA 200 for this. Click OK. So now we need to add 3 more. So let's add the 100. Go to the general, uncheck these two, and name it 100. So now we have daily SMA 100. Then this one is going to be our 50 daily SMA. Let's call it that. Change this, uncheck these, click OK. And then the last one is the 20 daily SMA. So let's add that and name it 20. All right, so now all of them are actually here on this chart. They're just invisible. So let's, one thing we need to do now is make sure the advanced script is enabled in our DAS. So we'll go to setup, other configuration, scroll all the way down, and here's hotkey advanced script. You need to enable this option. This option sometimes breaks the hotkeys that were created before the advanced script. So some of the hotkeys may break. For us, most of the hotkeys we have used so far are not affected by this, but like if you have order hotkeys for like defined risk and so on, automatic take profit and stop loss, bracket orders, those can be broken if they're written with the old hotkey scripts. So, but this is going to be covered in the next section when we're actually going to do the hotkeys for the orders. So for now, just enable this hotkey advanced script, click OK. Now we need to grab the values of those indicators of the daily SMAs and save them globally in Trader. So for that, you right click on this chart. Actually, you right click on the border of this chart. So right click here. Maybe not here. Yeah, you can name this chart. You don't need to name it. So it's just for me to keep track of it. So I call it my daily chart. So, but for now, let's right click here and press configure. And I think somewhere at the very bottom, there is this script section. So in the configure, we need to basically save the value of each daily SMA into a global variable. So the variables start with the $sign. So if I delete all of this, I'll say my global variable will be called daily SMA 20, and it's going to be equal to get study value, like this, get study val, and then here is going to be the name of the indicator that we're going to grab. So for us, we named it daily SMA 20. So this is going to basically take the latest value of that indicator and assign it to this global variable. We can then use this global variable to plot the value on the actual chart. So we have this, so let's put semicolon and then add the rest. So make sure all the names are spelled correctly. 50, 100, and 200. So now we have all of these in the script section in the configure for this chart. So click OK. So now they're all globally available. At this point, we can take this chart and put it back here and make it small again. So now we have our ATR, and somewhere there in the background, there are daily SMAs there as well. So now we need to create a hotkey that basically plots those global variables onto this intraday chart. So let's go to setup, hotkey, and let's create a new item. We're going to call it draw daily SMAs on intraday chart. And for this one, you can use Alt-Enter. Let me actually see, because I already have that here. So I'll reset this hotkey. So we've created this hotkey. Let's assign Alt-Enter to that. And now we need to write the script to actually plot that horizontal line. So for that, we go to chart window, trend line hotkeys, and scroll all the way to the bottom. You will see this draw horizontal line with price. If you don't see this hotkey, it means your version of DAS is just too old, because this has been added very recently. So let's add that. And now we need to figure out at what price we need to add this daily SMA. So on the chart. So from here, we're just going to take that global variable that we created. So daily SMA 20. So we're going to plot that. And then the second parameter is the color of that line. So let's add color. And here we're just going to say 0, 128, 0. So it's going to be just a green color to plot that line on the chart. Now let's create the rest. So you just basically duplicate this line and then rename all of this to like 50, 100, 200. So we have the 4 lines here. And let's click OK. So let's click commit and OK. So now let's see what happens. So basically the daily SMAs, you know the values of them right here, because we added them on this daily chart. But we are grabbing them from this tiny chart. So let's press Alt-Enter. And look at that. All of these SMAs are plotted on the intraday chart. And just compare them to this chart. So they're exactly right. Let's delete them from here. So let's see. We have one at 225.88. So let's scroll down. 225.88, 236.28, 238.39, and 240.22. So all of these 4 daily SMAs are now plotted on the intraday chart. And notice how price almost always reacts to them like here, it basically broke and retested the daily SMA here, and then broke and retested it again here. And let's delete it from this chart. Let's go, for example, to Palantir maybe. So it has these SMAs. So let's try to plot them here now. And we have them on the chart as well. And see how they react. Like yesterday, we basically broke and retested it and went down. The day before, we dropped exactly into the daily SMA and bounced from there. So it's very helpful for your intraday trading to have them on the chart. So let's delete that. Let's look at Tesla. And also, so we have this daily SMA here. And look at how yesterday we dropped below it and then reclaimed it, exactly tested and went up. And here, if you only have the daily chart, it will be hard for you to see, like, what are we doing here with this daily SMA, right? Are we breaking and retesting it? Like, how do you even draw it on the intraday chart? But when you have this hotkey, it's automatically drawn for you, and you know the exact value. So look how exact the retest is. And here, there's like 1, 2, 3 retests, and then it tried to go and retested it again twice, and then it finally went. So these daily SMAs are very, very important. A lot of algos use them for their support and resistance, and these are basically your dynamic support and resistance lines on the chart. Now, if you want to format this line or change colors for different EMAs, so for example, if you want to have, so Tesla is just so far behind its SMAs, so like on the outer chart, you see these are where the SMAs are currently. So to change the colors of them, let's say you want to have different colors for each one. You can also change the formatting for each one individually if you want. So you can have dash lines or solid lines or any other color. So let's see how we can do that. Let's go to setup and hotkey. Let's go down to our hotkeys, and here basically you need to configure your trend line before you draw it. For that, you go to chart window, trend line hotkeys, and add this config trend line. So before you draw all of these daily SMAs, you need to configure that. So we're going to configure our horizontal line like this, and then we have line style. So this is going to be solid line. Then we need line color, solid line, then line color. So for this one, I'm just going to say 0, 128, 0. Then we have line width. I'm going to choose 1 for that. Then we have label text color. So for this one, I think I'm going to select this. And then label background, I'm just going to label background, label text color. Okay, let's try to do this. 128, the same green background. Let's see how this draws. So now we have that config for our horizontal line. And let's click OK and OK. And now let's delete these and try to plot them again. So now we plot them, and they have basically they're now thickness 1. So if that's okay for you, you can keep that thickness. If not, you can change it to anything you want. And here we basically have the green background and the white font for the y-axis. And it depends all on your chart. If you're using them on dark charts like these, they are visible, I guess. So this is probably good for both the white chart and the dark chart. So you can use these lines. Now, if you want to format them different colors, so you just go to hotkeys here. Let's go back down, and now you just specify a different color for each horizontal line. Now, if you want to have a different style for each line, so let's say this one is solid line, then the next one is like dash line. You will basically have to, in the middle, change the config. So it goes through the script line by line. So it's going to configure the line like this first, then draw the line. Then the next line, you're going to configure another line. So here we're going to say it's now going to be a dash line with that config, and it's going to draw the 50, 100, and 200 daily SMAs with this config. And you can insert this config after each daily SMA. That way, each one will have its own configuration here. So let's try that. let's first delete all these, and let's Alt Enter. And now we have noticed that these bigger ones, like 50, 100, and 200 are in dashes, but our 20 is in solid lines. So that's how you change the configs for each line. For now, I'll just simplify it and keep them all the same config. So I'll delete this line here. And we have now our 4 horizontal lines and the config for the solid line in green color. And we use Alt Enter for that. So let's click OK, OK. And now you don't need to have a daily chart here because we grabbed the values from this ATR chart that we created before. So it's always here. And whenever you change the stock, it automatically changes like this chart. So you can easily plot then your intraday daily SMAs on an intraday chart. So this is how it works. And there's huge amount of new functionality coming with this advanced hotkeys with scripts. So you can basically grab any value from any chart and plot them anywhere you want. So if you have any questions or any suggestions of what indicators you want to plot on intraday chart, or you want to calculate anything, just leave it in the comments for this course, and then I'll add them to the course as a video or as just a text file. So that is it for this video.